So, as promised, this is the first of our self-help videos. I'm here with Gracie Kubler. She is our saltwater manager. She is the head of our saltwater department. And pretty much everything that happens with saltwater comes and goes through her. That is why we are blah, 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 blah. That is why we have decided to start with the Biocube. It is our most popular fish tank that we sell year after year. The reason it's so popular is because it is one of the best price points to get people into saltwater. It is very easy to learn how to keep saltwater fish in a tank like this because everything is very well self-contained. You can't do too much with it, but you can do enough to give you a great introduction into saltwater. And the Biocube is, again, the best way for even the young or old to learn it. It is a fantastic quarantine system if you've got a big reef tank and you want to run some fish through it. While we're going to show you how to set the Biocube up as saltwater, you can also use it as freshwater. But this is how we do it. So the first thing that has to happen in order to set up a Biocube is you must buy a Biocube. So right here I have the box for the Biocube. Gracie has taken the liberty of taking this out and getting it set up so we can kind of give you a quick overview of it. Basically, this video is going to break down into a general overview, how we set the Biocube up, and the things that you can do with it once it is set up, and general maintenance. So first we start with the Biocube. Comes in a box like this. It is already in the box, been pretty much assembled for you.
Yeah, the pump's already connected to the tubing.
So that's all there is to it. And can you kind of give us a general overview of the Biocube itself?
Okay, so Biocube, like he was saying before, is great when you're a starter or beginner, whether you're young or old. It's a little bit easier to comprehend. All your lighting is built into the top. So it's all LEDs. You have your day lights, your moon lights, your color max, sunrise, sunset. And that's kind of what this is running through right now. And then up here on the top, it also has a built-in timer, so you don't have to worry about hooking up, those weird timers where you have to plug everything into it. You can do a ramp up, ramp down, so like the sun going down, sun going up.
We've actually got it on a just a cycle right now, so that's why you're seeing the light change. It's actually got a programmable cycle where you can see all the cycles over about a 4-minute period. So we thought that would be a good idea just to set up so that you could, as we were talking, kind of see the cycles of the light with the tank. Got an easy flip top for feeding fish. You don't have to open the hood. Great for small kids because they can't easily get in it. There's, I think, almost no...
Yeah, barely.
There's almost no exit entry points except where
the plugs
come out. Yeah. We have this particular one set up on the Fishy Business custom Biocube stand by La Rochelle Designs. This perfectly fits it, and we can manipulate any color that you want, but obviously we've gone with black. Black's a fantastic color for fish tanks just because it provides a certain neutrality that the colors in saltwater, whether it's corals or fish, really pop. And has there been anything that you've had a hard time keeping in the years we've had the Biocube set up as far as corals?
No, I guess I only have maybe some of the harder acros. That's kind of the only thing. But there are extra things that you can add to this to upgrade so that you can do those.
And what did we do? What exactly did we do?
So there is a Marineland LED that I use to put in the Biocube. That's in the store. And that provides a lot more blue light than what this provides.
You just attach it to the lip?
Yeah, so it literally just clips right onto the front lip of the tank.
Does that add a big extra expense?
No, what is it, like maybe 60
okay.
bucks?
Okay,
it's
so
not that bad.
very little.
Yeah.
Spinning the Biocube around. As we fill this with water, you have a chamber on the side that will show you how much water you have in here. So even the evaporation is taken off your mind because you have a chamber where you can see how much water is evaporating.
Not to mention that the Biocube doesn't really evaporate that much water anyway.
Because of the 100% sealed hood. So there's that. One thing we want to show you as well is the chamber we have back here. And this obviously you won't see because it's actually inside the filter system, which is inside the Biocube. There are multiple chambers to do pretty much whatever you want, and the Biocube comes with just a simple carbon filter.
Yeah,
which I think is under some of our supplies.
Yeah, sorry. Alright, so this is your your Coral Life carbon filter that usually comes with the Biocube, so you'll have one of those in there when you purchase it. And that'll go right in the top here. That'll be your first layer.
Now we actually like to manipulate the Biocube because the couple things that you can do with it are make it more like the bigger tanks, and what that's going to do is that's going to enable you to pack it even tighter with more things. So what we've done for this video is show you exactly what we use in our service accounts and in the store, which you will see kind of overplaying over this. This is how we pack a Biocube. The chamber, when completely removed, looks exactly like this. And if you'll follow Gracie, she's going to actually pack this in the tiers and show you exactly how we set it up.
First, of course, you're going to have this on the top once you put it in there. And make sure you rinse that out because carbon has like a black powder on it, so just make sure you do that. Same with this. This is Chemi-Pure Blue. So this is great for any type of phosphate, silicate. It's also good for clarifying your water. So if you notice you have tiny little particles floating around in the tank, this usually is a good helper with that. So like I said, make sure you rinse it out real good. You put that underneath this onto the first layer. After that, let me say this one. After that, you're going to use your bio pellets. Now these you need to put in a mesh bag of some sort. Make sure that it's got semi kind of. You don't want super fine holes for this because it's got to have enough room to push water through constantly. But these reduce phosphates and nitrates. Over time, it's not going to boom bam work immediately, but within, I'd say probably 3 weeks, it will start to take effect. And after that, you won't really have a huge issue with your phosphates and nitrates anymore. So that'll be your second thing. Then, after that, I like to use matrix. You can use marine pure balls. You can use whatever other type, but this is what we usually tell people to use. So that would go on your third chamber. You also put these into, again, one of these mesh bags. And what these will do is they'll kind of just build up, your good bacteria in the tank. To kind of, stabilize everything. Then, so that's kind of it for this part. Now, over in the other chamber of the Biocube, we do have, and this is up to you, whatever you want to use, but this is an aqua clear foam. It literally fits snug right in here. Now, or you could put a protein skimmer, however you want to do it. But we like to use that. And what this does is it eliminates like the bigger pieces of like extra food and stuff like that. So that way that's not constantly running through the tank.
So, having loaded our little chambers, as you see, we have the Chemi-Pure Blue on top for any type of particulate removal, carbon for polishing the tank. We have our bio pellets, which will, over about a 6-month time, dissolve, so you will need to take these out and replace them. And then we have the matrix on the bottom for our biological. That will stay in there forever.
Unless it breaks or something.
Negative Gracie, in case it breaks or something.
I am not negative.
See, she just said she wasn't negative when I said she was negative, which means she's negative, because she said she's not, again, just that fast. And then the filter that actually came with the Biocube, that is ever important. Thank you.
I'm negative.
Voila. So, we now have a super duper Fishy Business loaded Biocube that looks something like this. Isn't that nice and professional? I think so. So, we are ready to have a saltwater tank. Let's turn this around and set it up. It's about this point in the setting up process where one of the most important tools comes in handy. That is the towel. Because you will make a mess with any kind of salt water. It is just guaranteed. So, we make our little blanket right here. And let's start with the live sand introduction. Any other time I would have made a perfect tear with the bag. However, because I'm on camera shooting for you, it is impossible for me to make the right tear. So, 120-pound bag of live aragonite should really do the job. And now you can harken back to days at the beach where you did sandcastles, because that's what we'll be concentrating on now. So, I take my sandcastle and smush it all around. And what I will typically do at this point is add about 5 gallons of salt water. Obviously, this is a 32-gallon tank, so you have 32 gallons of water that needs to go in it, less the amount for the rock. However, I have found that it is best, first off, I like to dry stack the live rock. That way, before it clouds up, I can see kind of how my design is going to look. Sure, there'll be some tweaking after the fact, but also there'll be shifting if you try to dry stack it with no water in it. And while this will create a little bit of cloudiness, it'll level out the sand so that I have a good smooth base to work with. We use Nutri-Seawater or something very similar, depending on what availability is like, simply because it is live salt water out of the ocean, if that can be said. And the whole idea with this Biocube is to make things as simple as we can to get you guys started. The live rock, the live sand, the live seawater, you're rolling in a couple of days. I mean, you can almost put something in there the day you set the tank up. We usually don't recommend it because it needs to flow through with some oxygen, but that's typically the reason why we do all this, is because it makes a very turnkey aquarium from the ground up. So, I'll use my larger pieces for the bottom. This is logical, but I have actually gone through the store and picked out certain pieces that I like. I want to make it as open for the fish to swim as possible, yet still having some kind of structure. Now, if you've ever watched me decorate a tank on any of the other tank tip videos, or you ever get a hold of me installing the tank in your home or even in the shop, I'm going to tell you this same thing. But it's the thing I feel strongest about. The idea with having the aquarium is it doesn't look like an aquarium that holds corals and fish. It looks like a cutout of the ocean that is supported by an aquarium. So in my whole design process, I hate things like any type of power heads being shown in the tank, overflow boxes. These are boxes that allow the water to escape the main chamber and go into the filtration. So I try to cover as much of the back of the tank as possible, walling it right on up to the top. I don't know if I grabbed enough rock to see that through right now, but I absolutely,
I like that too.
It's really huge for me.
Just makes it look a lot more natural. As opposed to the guy who has like one big rock smack in the middle of it with nothing else. I don't know.
Even in a small design, you can carry it into all kinds of different dimensions. While I didn't plan that in the slightest, this is the design that we have. Thank you, Assistant Gracie. And you can kind of come get a look at it as it is before I go fill it up. You have lots of swim-throughs for fish. You have a structure that has a little bit of an artistic sculpture to it, if you will, that to where it could look like one piece that you just pulled out. If this were mine, I would probably take 1 or 2 pieces of rock, make a few chips, and literally work around this, which could easily be done, and around this chamber right here. Thus the whole back would be full, but you could still get algae magnet or whatever you need around it while you have a center spot. You could even take another smaller rock and kind of make a little outcropping here, but you still have a great amount of area with swim-throughs, open water for whatever fish you choose. Okay, so hopefully by now the water's cleared up a little bit and you can see kind of the direction that we went with decorating this Biocube. Everything's clear now and you're a day or 2 away from adding the first fish, inverts, things like that. I hope this has been a little bit of a help. There are a lot of different ways you can still manipulate and do other things, kind of tweak things with maybe some smaller pieces of rock. If this were mine, I'd still probably come out here a little bit further with another piece to add maybe one more little bridge, just to give it a little bit more of a 3 dimension. But again, this is one of the easiest aquariums to set up, salt or fresh. It's, as you can see, basically been put together for you almost. And this is a great introduction to saltwater, or just to have a little nightstand type tank. So we got to do something with this one. If anybody wants it set up the way we just did it, you can have it at a very cheap price of $6.99. And it will be sitting here running for at least the next week or two. So if you want to get into saltwater and you're not sure about things, don't want to invest a lot of money, you would be very hard pressed to find something easier than the Biocube. Thanks for watching. Any feedback, we'd love it, and I hope this has helped.